So, two movies are flopping at the box office that came out on June 16th. Pixar's Elemental and The Flash. And those were the two highest grossing movies of that week. And none of those made it to $100 million at the box office. So, on the Thursday and Friday screenings of The Flash came out to $24.5 million. It's still higher than the second Shazam movie's box office, but lower than Black Adam's $26.6 million. So Black Adam was considered, it didn't make much money. And The Flash totally got I burped again. $55.1 million over the weekend. Which, I was expecting this movie to... I was expecting The Flash to at least make $900 million at the box office during its box office run. I did not expect The Flash to make it up to, like, the box office success as Avengers Endgame, but I expected The Flash to do decently because it was supposed to be a multiversal travel type movie that does the transition to James Gunn DCU reboot, and it's kind of like a the Flashpoint, where the Flash, Barry Allen screws up history and then that transitions to the New 52, like in the comics. I was thinking that The Flash would be the only DC EU movie, the leftovers that has a point in going to go see. But The Flash, I don't want to give to any spoilers, still had a sense of finale to it, since Warner Brothers, the DCEU that's been running since 2013 with the first Man of Steel movie, like, didn't have the same success that the MCU did, so Warner Brothers just decided to start from scratch, and with Superman Legacy, I'm excited for that movie. Like, people who weren't normally into superhero movies were praising it on Twitter, like Stephen King and Tom Cruise were praising the movie, and those two people aren't normally into superhero movies, and they're praising The Flash like it's one of the best movies ever. It's a classic and all of that, and that got me excited. I thought that this movie would get 90-something% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I went and saw the movie, and I did not see a masterpiece. I did not understand what Tom Cruise was seeing at all. And it has Michael Keaton back as Batman, it has all the fan service and all that. They brought back Michael Keaton as Batman and all those other things. And I think the reason why The Flash isn't doing so well, but it is doing better than Shazam! Fury of the Gods, I will say that. But it's more likely to deal with, obviously, James Gunn's DCU reboot and the shit that's had been going on with Ezra Miller over the years with the crimes and scandals that he's been in. And that was the reason why The Flash is not doing so well at the box office. And there were some people in the theater. I went to see this with my brother. There were some families and other people and fans, but it didn't fill up the whole theater. Now we got Elemental, and I'm I really like Pixar movies. I really do. Like, who doesn't really? And I'm a fan of the Toy Story movies, and I think my favorite Pixar movies is Toy Story 2, Monsters Inc., and The Incredibles. Like, those are my three favorites. I was not looking forward to Elemental. I saw last year's Pixar movie, Lightyear, which you people we're stupid. It's not a bad movie. And I think the reason why usually Pixar movies make a lot of money, but with Elemental, like, the trailers don't look good. That's probably one of the reasons why Elemental isn't doing so well. Like, I watched the trailers and previews, in the theater, and Elemental just doesn't look all that impressive at all. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm watching a trailer to a Pixar movie at all. It feels like something like Trolls, where it's only for kids. It's not up there in Pixar quality. It feels like it's something only aimed at young kids. It felt like Elemental felt like it's gonna be like another Trolls type fucking movie, but that's what I felt, and the trailers just did not look good, interesting at all. Like, the humor is just basic and anime kids movie type humor. It's just like, Elemental just didn't interest me, but it is getting good reviews. I am saying that, but it's still not making money, and I think one other reason why is because Disney and Pixar has been a target of Republican culture war stuff, and the reason why other past Disney projects make money, like Avengers Endgame, is because conservatives went and gone see it, and I guess as someone who's a liberal myself, I do think that Hollywood is way overly obsessed with being politically correct. This is coming from a liberal myself. Like, again, there's nothing wrong with being gay or having a gay character in a movie. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you over-prioritize diversity over having an interesting story or having interesting characters, that's when you're overly being politically correct. It's kind of like there's too much of a good thing. Like, diversity in movies and entertainment, video games, and all that, and representation can be a good thing, but you need to having interesting characters, having good writing, and all that as the priority. That's what you should do. And there are just a lot of right-wing snowflakes, and oh, that's woke, oh, that's woke, oh, that's woke, oh, that's woke, and if Disney makes money, it's because conservatives and right-wingers went and see Disney movies. And they're not showing up to go see them because a good chunk of Disney's income was from conservatives and right-wingers. Though that's my theory of why Elemental isn't doing that well. I only seen 2 of those movies that flopped that weekend. I saw The Flash, and I really enjoyed it, but the CGI in a couple scenes are so shit. Like, the scene at the beginning where the Flash was, like, rescuing, like, falling CGI babies, it's just awful. It made me feel sick to my stomach. It was just awful. And the scenes where, in the Speed Force, where everyone got was supposed to get a nerd boner because they brought back Christopher Reeve as Superman and Nicolas Cage from that canceled Superman movie, and George Reeve from The Adventures of Superman, that old black and white Superman show. Like, that's, the CGI looked awful. Like I totally get that Christopher Reeve and George Reeve aren't alive anymore and Adam West, but they also brought back Adam West as Batman, and they looked awful. Like, they looked like PS3, something that came out of the PS3. It looked awful, but I did enjoy the humor in this movie and Michael Keaton. Like, I enjoyed the movie. There's a lot of good things, but a couple scenes of CGI is just awful. And I have not seen Elemental yet. So I think it also might have something to do with also movie theaters, because I feel like they're not as popular as they used to. I think that's the reason why. Like, Fast X also came out this summer, and that movie is not doing so well. And it's just, I think movie theaters might be dying. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I enjoy going to the movie theater because it's a good social experience. It's a good way to get out in the world and all of that. Because I'm someone who likes movies, and I still go out and buy physical media because of the social aspect of it. I just like to go out in the public every once in a while. I don't like to download games 100% of the time. But I think that there are more people interested in. I'm just gonna wait for that movie to come out in streaming and all that. That's what a lot of people are doing, and I think that's disappointing, but that's just the world we live in now.